You probably heard it a million times from big names like Alex Hormozy, Grant Cardone, or Gary Vee. If you want to earn more, you got to hustle harder, work smarter, and never stop grinding. And while that advice might sound like the golden ticket to success, I'm here to tell you something different. It's only half of the story. Let me be clear, the hustle culture is powerful. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that if you are not constantly working, you're falling behind. But here's the brutal truth that they don't emphasize. No matter how hard you grind, if you are doing the wrong things, you are not just spinning your wheels.
Crazy.
You are digging yourself deeper in a hole. I did that and ended up with $100,000 debt. They tell you to work smarter, but what does that really mean? It's just another way of saying just figure it out on your own. Because if that's the case, you might find yourself burning out, overwhelmed, and wondering why the results are not matching the effort. The reality is the grind will only take you so far. You can hustle 24/7, but if you are stuck in the weeds trying to do everything yourself, you're not building a business. You're building a trap that keeps you working, keeps you stressed, and keeps you poor. But here's the thing, there is a way out of the cycle, a way to work smarter, not harder, that actually gets you the results you want.
Good job!
And it starts with understanding the real reason you're stuck and how to break free. And believe me, you don't want to hear it. But before I start, let me tell you a story. I always wanted to be a business owner, even from a young age, but I didn't start a business then. I had no support or the environment to facilitate that. I grew up with my retired grandparents who had blue-collar jobs in a small town where the most interesting thing was to hang out in the park. Not only this, but I grew up in an ex-communist country where the concept of having a business was foreign. Because in communism, everything is owned by the state, resources, businesses, and even people. After I was done with high school and college, I started my first business building guitars. And it was hard work. It all depended on me to market and deliver those guitars. I had no idea, but I stuck with it for 3 years and some change. I was able to build and sell 6 custom-made guitars and made about $3,000 in profit.
Nice.
I stopped building because I moved to the US and needed a bit more than 1K per year. I started my second business a year after I stopped building guitars. I started an affiliate marketing business. I was primarily using ads to drive traffic to affiliate offers and make a profit. Slowly, I started to create content to drive even more traffic, but all that came crashing down because of some changes in the platform rules, which made my ads perform not that great. I was still making a profit, but my profit margins were so thin that I decided to call it quits. Immediately after that, I started my third business in web development, which is still alive today. After all these years of trial and failure and success, I can tell you from my experience the things that held me down, not what some dude says that tries to sell you dreams and courses while flexing in a jet. I learned the hard way that perfectionism is a trap. When I started building custom guitars, I was obsessed with getting every detail just right. I spent weeks and months on a single guitar because I thought it had to be flawless before I could sell it. I also had some good intended people that was pointing out some of the flaws, which drove me crazy. The problem, I was so focused on perfection that I wasn't moving forward. After 3 years, I had only built and sold 6 guitars, and while I'm proud of it, I made just $3,000 in profit.
Here comes the money!
Here we go.
That's not a business, that's just an expensive hobby. It was perfectionism that kept me from scaling, from reaching out more customers, and from really making a living. I thought that if the product wasn't perfect, it wasn't ready, but I was wrong.
What?
The truth is, good enough is better than perfect because good enough gets you into the market. Sure, you have to do your best to deliver a great product, but it will never be perfect. I once had a $3,000 Gibson guitar that had defects, and people are still buying those. In the early days of my web development business, I took on way too much. I was constantly adding more projects, more clients, more tasks, thinking that more was better. But all that did was to lead to overwhelm.
Stop it. Get some help.
I was so busy juggling everything that I wasn't making real progress on anything. I was getting so overwhelmed that my brain wanted to escape, and I ended up procrastinating on some stuff just not to deal with them. Not only that, but I wasn't making a lot of money. I was busy and stressed and broke with no end in sight. I was working all hours, burning out, and despite all the efforts, I wasn't growing. I realized that by trying to do everything myself, I was holding my business back. I wasn't delegating because I thought I couldn't afford it or that no one else could do the job as well as I could. But that mindset kept me small and stressed. But still, I didn't give up, and I thought I was not productive enough, so I tried to optimize my time. I started searching, learning, and applying different productivity tactics. As of today, I didn't find one that works for me. But the reason I got stuck was that I thought I could do it all and I was best at everything. No one can replace me or what I do for my company. While that can somewhat be true, it's not. And you can see that in big and small companies. Workers are replaced, CEOs are replaced, so everyone is replaceable, including you. Earlier, I told you that the advice to hustle harder and work smarter is just half of the story. The other half, it's about knowing where to put your energy and, most importantly, when to step back and let others step in. But there's something almost nobody talks about: the reality of outsourcing. It sounds simple, just delegate the tasks, right? But the truth is, outsourcing, it's a skill in itself, and if you don't do it right, it can cost you your business. I lost a lot of money to learn this skill, and I am still learning. When I first started outsourcing, I made a lot of mistakes. I thought that just handing off tasks would free up my time and help my business grow. But what I didn't realize was that outsourcing isn't just about delegating. It's about finding the right people, setting the right expectations, and maintaining the right oversight. The real challenge of outsourcing is that it's not a magic bullet. It's not just about offloading work. It's about building a team, trusting them with your vision, and ensuring they have the tools and the directions to succeed. And if you don't approach it with the right mindset and strategy, the price you will pay could be far greater than any amount you saved by doing it yourself. So how do you prevent paying the huge price? It starts with understanding that outsourcing is an investment in your business's future. It means taking the time to find the right people who align with your values and goals. It means clearly defining what success looks like and communicating the vision to your team. And most importantly, it means staying involved enough to guide the process without micromanaging. It's a balance, and it's not always easy, but it's crucial. Remember what I said in the beginning: the grind, the hustle, the never-ending work is just part of the equation. The other part, it's about working smarter in a way that actually moves the needle. The mistakes I made, perfectionism, overthinking, doing it all myself, they were all rooted in the fear of letting go. But what can you outsource first? Admin tasks, repetitive tasks, and whatever you are not good at. An example of this is your website. Everyone needs an online presence, but let's face it, not everyone can design, develop, add new features and sales funnels and maintain a website. It just happens that I know a company that does it really well. You can find a link in the description. Plus, an entrepreneur's time is better spent on high leverage activities like sales, marketing, and company vision. One last thing, we all have a different trajectory and entrepreneurial path, and every skill you must learn to become a better entrepreneur takes time, practice, and dedication. When you fail, look at it as a learning opportunity, one that not a lot of people will have the courage to learn. And if you want to learn more about another skill you have to build a better business, click on this video.